forest lands. No, we don't want your development plans. Plum Creek out of Maine!
On April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, members of the Native Forest Network visited Plum Creek's office on Mountain Avenue in Fairfield. Now, Plum Creek is an out-of-state developer who wants to create a resort complex larger than the city of Portland in the Moosehead area. It will mostly be a high-end resort for the super rich who will fly to Maine from all points north, south, east, and west. Just the air traffic created alone will add thousands of tons of greenhouse gases to Maine's already taxed air quality. With this in mind, the golfers of Wilderness Sprawl presented the Fossil Fool's Day Award to Plum Creek.
Fellow golfers, we gather here today for a momentous occasion to present a very esteemed award to a very esteemed corporation. My name is Bartholomew J. Puttsmith III. I am the president for the Golfers for Wilderness Sprawl. Thank you. We are the nation's most elite and prestigious golfing organization. Our mission is to engage in, shall we say, public-private partnerships, as it were, in order to advance the goal of year-round outdoor golf on every corner of the globe. Therefore, we support Therefore, we support and commend any efforts on the parts of corporations such as Plum Creek to alter the climate of the earth irreversibly in our favor.
It's about time!
We like to think that Plum Creek is helping to make Maine a little bit more like Florida every day.
Yes, finally!
And so we share with them the motto, Plum Creek, making Maine the way golf should be.
Cheerio!
Yes. So now, to present this prestigious award today, we have with us an unspeakably esteemed couple, of whom I cannot say too much.
Not too much to say.
Due to an extremely generous gift from this esteemed couple to the Golfers for Wilderness Sprawl, we have available the first annual Biffy T and Spiffy P Stumpsworthy Global Climate Change Award. And today, to present this award to the Plum Creek Timber Company, we have here in person Biffy T and Spiffy P Stumpsworthy. Please give them a generous, warm welcome.
Thank you!
Thank you, yes. Watch out, dear. There's some muck. Be okay.
We haven't put the grass in
Thank you, President Pottscott.
Yes, Bartholomew, that was quite nice.
So, welcome everyone. We know it's a bit cold, but Plum Creek is working on that for us. Thank you, Plum Creek, and that's why we're giving this award today. Tell us about this.
Well, you know, Spiffy and I have been long supporters of things we feel are important. In that light, we've actually manufactured a few golf courses over the years. But in this circumstance, we felt like what was necessary was really to put a little bit of oomph behind the social momentum that's already building towards a rosier, warmer future. And so towards that end, we decided to create a small endowment to encourage business leaders, corporate and private, to take the initiative and really get the job done. It's been a long time, millions of years of evolution, but we can change it, and we're doing it now.
Yes.
Quickly. Time to go.
All right now, Muffy, please bring the award.
Yes.
And
Spiffy,
we
you
have
can give it to them.
Here, hold your golf
oh, it is beautiful award, golf tee with the world on top.
Yes.
Mr. Plum Creek.
Absolutely.
the world of you.
Delighted to accept. Thank you so much. Thank you for this great honor.
Oh, you're
And
so welcome.
I would just like to say, on behalf of Plum Creek, it's a delight to be honored by such an organization as this, and I think it's really important that we recognize in Maine, you know, that we've already proven that we can definitely achieve this in Montana. I think we've proven it in Montana. We can prove and make Maine the way golf really should be. Absolutely. And I'd just like to say, I think we can all agree that the winter here has been getting more and more severe, and it would be nice to have a little break from that. And I think that Plum Creek would be more than happy to bring that to the people of this great state. So I'm delighted to be on board. Thank you very much for the award.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Delighted to accept.
Good job.
Just get rid of some of those trees.
So let's go!
Shall we go? Shall we go? Yeah.
Shall we go?
Okay, I won't go that way. Oh, that was fun!
Good one, Muffy.
Up the cliff.
No, it's a good lie. There we go. I say, excuse me, I'm going to play through 4.
Oh, watch out.
There we go.
Plum Creek owns over 70% of the land in the Moosehead Lake region. When Plum Creek bought that land, they knew it was zoned for forestry. All the while Plum Creek has owned this land, they have been receiving tax breaks associated with owning forest lands. Now, Plum Creek wants to change the rules. They want to rewrite Maine's land use policies to turn forest land into a huge playland for the wealthy. And what do the poor people of Maine get? Well, Plum Creek promises to build a few units of affordable housing at $150,000 per unit. Can you afford this? Some of the Native Forest Network members had more to say about climate change and sustainable forests.
So today is April 1st, 2008, April Fool's Day, and we're here in Fairfield, Maine, the Golfers for Wilderness Sprawl, to present a prestigious award to Plum Creek for their plans to develop their North Woods and how they will help to contribute to global climate change. Today is an international day of action against companies who we are calling fossil fuels, who are continuing to rampage the earth, extracting resources at an unsustainable rate, and continuing to put CO2, carbon dioxide, into the earth and contributing to global climate change. And Plum Creek is Maine's #1 fossil fuel, and so we're here today to present them an award, thanking them for helping to make Maine more like Florida.
I think it's important that we recognize that Plum Creek is definitely a risk. I mean, everything as far as a new business, a new company in Maine is a risk assessment when we're looking at development like this. Does the risk of allowing a company like this outweigh the benefits of the people of Maine? And I think that the reality is that the people of Maine are going to realize that that's a resounding no. I think it's important for people to recognize that as quickly as possible so that we can prevent this monster before it really starts. And I mean, that's the way I personally feel. I know a lot of folks out there feel the same way, and that's why we're out here today. So I'm proud to be part of that.
And we're focusing on Plum Creek's plan for Maine. A conservative estimate by Environment Northeast estimated that Plum Creek would create, could you give me the number on that?
Roughly 500,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions in the first 10 years of their development operation.
And that's a very conservative estimate. It doesn't take into effect the deforestation, the effects that would have. Maine's forests are one of the largest carbon sinks in the area.
Hey, Plum Creek!
After a few chants, participants of the Fossil Fool's Day event politely thanked Plum Creek executives and the Fairfield Police for their hospitality and quietly left.
People to come out to the public meetings that will be held by the Land Use Regulation Commission on its comprehensive land use plan that it's currently evaluating. There's going to be public meetings throughout the state in April and May. And we're encouraging people to come out, speak their minds, make sure people in local communities have a voice in any projects that could threaten our local communities. In this area, we're in Somerset County, which is the largest maple syrup producing county in the U.S. And maple syrup is something that's extremely dependent on a stable climate cycle. There's a recent study by a University of Vermont researcher that maple syrup production has been steadily decreasing in New England over the past 40 years. The study concluded, it took many factors into account. It concluded that the climate change was the one factor that was affecting all of it, leading to earlier seasons and shorter sugaring seasons. Most all of their vacationers coming to the resorts and developments would be fly-in customers. Airplanes produce massive amounts of carbon dioxide. Driving in there, also the massive amounts of land that they're deforesting. They claim that they're practicing sustainable forestry, but the certification program that certifies them as sustainable, called SFI, is industry funded and created. The president of Plum Creek, CEO Rick Hawley, sits on the board of directors of SFI. That program allows for 120-acre or more clear cuts in the area. The conservation easements would allow for these clear cuts, as well as sludge spreading, new road building, cell phone towers, all of which decrease the ability. What was that?
Gravel mining.
Gravel mining and commercial bottled water extraction, all of which would increase truck traffic and deforest the area and threaten the air quality of the area, the climate stability. One other key piece of the natural economy around here is the native brook trout. The US EPA came out with a report that said Maine's cold water fisheries could be completely destroyed by the estimated effects of climate change. Just a few degrees global warming and warming of the waters could wipe out a livable habitat for the native brook trout fisheries, of which we have one of the largest and healthiest populations in Maine.
A big factor in Plum Creek's development in terms of contributing to climate change is really the effect on the forest. And Hillary said some of this, but I just want to be really clear that the northern forests, of which Maine has a significant proportion of, are like the lungs of the planet. And these are the forests that deal with the carbon emissions that are going into the atmosphere. They absorb that carbon emissions. They hold that carbon emissions, they transform it. And so as we deforest the North Woods, and as we practice unsustainable forestry that reduces the ability of the forest to hold that carbon, we're contributing hugely to more and more carbon that's being in the atmosphere that's causing climate change. And so that's a huge part of the concern with Plum Creek.